Okay, within SecureX, I'm going to launch the orchestration tool, and I go to the orchestration beta menu. When I click on this, it'll launch me into another tab. So within this tab, you can see this is the Action Orchestrator tool for SecureX. On the left-hand side is a list of administrative tasks, workflows, targets, account keys, lots of variables you can define ahead of time. And then in the center is the workflow menu here, and you can see there's a bunch of modules. These are playbooks or actions, a sequence of events that you can alert or you can kick off to run following a specific set of incidents on your network. Maybe you've got a bunch of logs and you want to take some action. Okay. Now I'm going to show you an example shortly here about generating an email as well as creating a WebEx team space and putting events or notification into the WebEx team space to let your network people know that, hey, there's something happening on the network. There are cases being opened and you guys should pay attention here. Of course, there are other modules that you can create, like here's a start a phishing investigation, submit a specific URL to ThreatGrid for further investigation, etc. Lots of modules you can create. And before I go through the workflow, let's take an atomic action. Atomic actions is these are specific tasks, individual tasks that you can configure. For example, let's take a look at this one. This is about generating an access token for CTR. And within that specific task, here's 3 steps, right? Generate an access token, fetch the token, and then set the access token. And so it's relatively simple, very logical, meaning that if I want to create an additional task beforehand, I simply go to these options or activities on the left-hand side. And one example is like, hey, maybe I want to do another HTTP GET request. So I simply drag and drop HTTP request into the first item here at the top. And now I just started an HTTP request, and here I can define my HTTP target. Who am I going to connect to? What's the relative URL? Do I want to grab a token? Do I want to grab a specific variable? Do I want to do a HTTP post or GET? So these are all things you can configure with just a little bit of knowledge about JSON and programming. Not a lot, as long as you understand the logic here, okay, as well as the content types and header information, etc. So I'm going to delete this because I'm not going to do it. So within here, so for this process, it's generate a token. So I'm basically logging into CTR, and here's a workflow target, my account keys, and this is the relative URL, OAuth2/token. Right? That's the URL. I'm going to do an HTTP post to go grab a token, and then grab that token and put it into a format that I can read, and then set it so I can call it in another variable later, right? So it's a sequence of events here. So let me get out of here and go back to my actual demo I want to show you here. So let's click on this send email on incident. So you can see here the first atomic action I'm going to take is to generate a token, right? I'm going to log into CTR and then grab some token, and I'm going to ultimately, once I get the information I needed, I'm going to send the results to jelin@cisco.com. That's the email recipient. I'm also going to post that information in a WebEx bot team room ID that I define here. So these are all variables you can set up ahead of time. So I'm going to grab a token, grab the timestamp using a Python script. And you can see here a Python script is down here. It's import time, timestamps equal to something, something, etc., with some more variables configured. Then I'm going to format the time stamp that I retrieved from Python, the script, build a query, get the incident from the CTR incidents page or section, read it from JSON format, do some format conversion, and then finally the results, I'm going to post it or send it in an email using a Gmail target, as well as my Gmail credentials, and I send it to my email recipient, which is jelin me here. And then at the same time, when that's done, I'm going to post that into my WebEx team space. And these are all, again, more variables for configuration that needs to be done ahead of time. And then when that's done, that's it. And then the module goes to sleep, and then I have completed my task. So let me go ahead and run this and show you the process. You can see here the very first step is green, generate a token, and it went blue, then it went green very quickly, and then followed by more green for individual tasks that's being run. Then down here, the email section has been done, and it's in the blue for the WebEx teams, and now the entire process has run and completed because it's all green. If something's broken, it will give you a red indication, and then you can do some troubleshooting, right? Maybe some configuration is done incorrectly. All right, so that process has been done. Let's take a look at what happened. I go ahead and log into my Teams space, and it's called SecureX-JELIN demo, and you can see here it's now at 11 o'clock, and there's incidents being reported into this Teams chat space as we see here. It's start to roll in, and there's definitely lots of incidents being reported on the network, in my lab network, and then it's all being reported here, right? So that's the first notification. The next one is the email. Let's see what happened in the email. Same thing with email. Within my email, within my Action Orchestrator category, I'm starting to see the Action Orchestrator emails coming in. And so the source is from the Action Orchestrator test at gmail.com. It's being sent to me, JELIN. And these are the incidents being reported within the SecureX incident page. Right, so you can see there are actually lots of them, and they're still rolling in as we speak right now. Okay. All right. Hopefully this gives you a good overview of how Action Orchestrator works in SecureX, and you can understand this and build this into your SecureX deployment. Thanks for watching.